Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off you to a glorious 1v1 on Mill Road in north of the SturmtigerGiap, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the first Bundesjon with Lightning Wolf featuring Jaeger Light Infantry upgrades, tactical movement, relief infantry, Tiger tanks, and Stuart close air support with double infantry and a Pantherfaust bullets in west and south of this IncaUna. Fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, and Comrade Stalin. Rolling out here with the 7th Mechanized Corps. We got Armored Assault, we got Urban Defense, we got Lend-Lease Taxis here with Triple Infantry. And as always, a big howdy thanks to my patron supporters, my personal company of heroes. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon yourself. You can also find the ranks of people like Simon, who donated by PayPal, and of course donate yourself. Links in the description as well. And you can always just comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, keep the algorithms going in my favour. So double contact is going to the MD42. Off here to a steady start here from both sides. As Giap fans out here across the map. Meanwhile, IncaUna, they're going centre, west, and east as well, so similarly fanning out. There's the Wehrmacht. You do want to care about fanning out too thinly. You don't want like your machine guns exposed, or for that matter, your forces not to be able to support each other swiftly. Third conscript on the way there for IncaUna, and the centre we got the sandbags up preparing a fighting position with which to resist any fascist advance swiftly. Second Grenadier squad there for Giap. It scrums around the centre. Grenadiers the conscripts there. And the south grab the fuel point there. Up north, Pioneers got the munitions. Interesting, he actually went for the munitions point first, almost in some ways. So that stands out a bit there. That stands out a bit. Seizing the southern point here. More sandbags from IncaUna. Conscript falling back here. Grenadiers shot to the sandbags. Pioneers grab the southern point. Machine gun there. Moving ahead steadily as well. As it is moving into the more, shall we say, unknown territory, it does need a bit more careful. It's going to pop into the building, which definitely makes sense. Don't want to risk that. Getting caught in a bad spot there. Fourth conscript there for IncaUna. Though with no airborne troop tactics, doesn't really tell us which doctrine he's planning to go for here. In fact, none of the doctrines really like some of the Jesuit. The closest is probably Lend-Lease Taxis with a conscript repair kit here. Conscript pressed up with M42. We got Grenadiers south instead here with that MD4 Pioneers up here. Fourth conscript on the way, almost done, and we got a third Grenadier squad being called by Giap. So far, fairly standard builders on both sides. Giap here playing aggressively, though he definitely wants to use the machine to support his troop more actively as well. We got the conscript forwards here, swinging from the west towards the east. Up maneuvering here for Giap's front line. I think that's a very good move there. Thumbs up to IncaUna. Good maneuvering here. Got the car point here. Grenadiers remaining on that one. Machine gun is a bit hesitant here. Giap clearly not entirely sure how to react to IncaUna's maneuvers, and so keeps the machine gun in a more reserved position. For example, if he pushed towards here, he could quickly respond. If similarly, if they push for here, but if he were to like push for him, expect the push and then push for there, his machine gun in a really bad spot. But at the same time, you can also see the other issue, which is keeps the machine gun back. He can't support his troops, and he just gets overwhelmed there by conscripts. So it was a series of tough decisions there for Giap, and I certainly can't fault him for ending up like doing it like that. But tech there for Giap. Like to make a nice company soon to be there. Constant charging at the Grenadiers there. No Molotovs, so he can't easily flush them out. At least not with a Molotov. But he's still got numbers which will eventually flush out Giap's forces. Machine, I think, remains a bit too passive there. Feel like he could be doing a bit more with that one personally. But it is opening up there. Tech almost done there. Meanwhile, back in IncaUna's base, we have medics done. We are getting the grenade upgrade. They're allowing to pop a Molotov there at the MD42 crew. Certainly punishing Giap there for keeping around for too long in the same spot, as that typically will invite a Molotov or a mortar or something otherwise nasty from the Soviets. It's always being mindful of that little thing there. At least against, a good player. A less good player, of course, may not bother with that. But as a rule of thumb, you should always assume your opponent is good. To some degree, at least. Got to think push back by the Grenadiers. Up here, Grenadiers reinforcing. Coming up here. Up and Giap now just got a pretty weak hold on the map here versus IncaUna. Definitely do something about that soon. He could theoretically begin pushing for G4 for using those Grenadiers versus IncaUna. Will have to fight a bit better on the move here versus IncaUna and sort of get a more aggressive pace in here versus him. We'll see there. IncaUna has yet to sort of do anything further besides just go for the headquarters upgrades. We haven't seen, for example, any supporting company as Special Rifle Command or any sort of like tech there. Pioneers set ready, like to make a nice company, and man's going to be going soon. As you can see, push out an armoured car, and there we go. 822, of course, would do quite a bit of good here for Giap. Would do quite a bit of good. Meanwhile, still largely amount of silence there from IncaUna. We learn Lee's tacticals to get the Enforced Sherman, the disc-heavy machine gun, half-tech assault groups, allied supply drops, and the conscript repair kits. So a few options there for IncaUna. Certainly a few handy options. Thumbs up there. Note most M4C Shermans actually saw usage in the Guards mechanized corps, as they were seemingly considered quite good, as they obviously wouldn't be putting into like the most elite mechanized units. Fun fact. Armored car there on the way here for Giap. Contracting the Grenadiers. Grab northern point there, very good. Can begin upgrading with G for the feast, that is what he wants, though we are seeing munitions going towards something else. Medic bunker there, plus minesweeper kits. Obviously assuming that IncaUna's going to be mining the stuffing out of the map, which is a very sensible concern to have when up against most Soviet players. Since again, the good ones will typically try and mine as much as they can, unless they're going for airborne troops, at which point there will be a delay, typically because they're going to be using a lot of munitions on those SVT-40s. But IncaUna is not quite under that constraint. The closest might be setting up munitions for the Allied supply drop, though. At this point in time here, Giap obviously doesn't know what his doctrine his opponent has gone for, so can't really, bet on that. There you go, armor cut the ready, Grenadiers backing up. No upgrade chip for the Grenadier. Some Pentagon will be a good addition if you Giap versus IncaUna, I feel like. IncaUna, of course, can now go with a heavy machine gun team. Could run with some strong anti-infantry firepower and use something to deal with the 2-2, so obviously a very good unit to call in there. Meanwhile, we got a big push here by IncaUna, concentrating, going for a deeper flank here as well from the north. Catching Giap there, very much exposed and in a really bad place. Machine moving about here, looking to perhaps counteract from the south. Mines up from IncaUna, very good, thumbs up. Pun's going to be scored halfway down there for Giap. Really should upgrade some of those Grenadiers soon. The more firepower you can bring to bear on a unit-to-unit basis versus IncaUna, the better here for Giap and for Germany. Perhaps call here to try to push for the fuel point in the south. The Puni's being about here, winding off a bit of heavy cover. We got both squawks holding up behind some old tombstones, ready to receive any attack except from the north. Big push here, we also got the Panzers backing up here for Giap. South here contemplating behind MD-42. Or do they? Nope, they actually get caught in arc of fire here and suppressed. Close call there though for Giap. At least some managed to get past that arc of fire. Giap's southern flank, well, what remains of the southern flank would have been in a pretty precarious position. Needs to remove a Grenadier scroll to the point there, I think. Oh, to bring the Pioneers. I'm cutting the mine. Again, go mine there by IncaUna. Thumbs up. Tank V battalion command there, Tank V. Going to be pushing out a T-70 here fairly fast as a Giap that's going to acquire Pack 40. Awesome telemines. Machine gun there pulling back some healing as it is low on health. Very good decision, I think, there by Giap, since obviously it could risk, getting, say, caught by a T-70 and quickly wiped, or anything else really could very rapidly wipe it there. So Giap definitely taking the right decision, I think. No further sun anything out there from IncaUna. Still have machine guns. Possible he's actually not doing it in part because he may not want to give away to his opponent too fast. That he's actually going for Lease, since I don't think he's got any other doctrine that features the heavy machine gun there. So if we were to go for it, there's obviously a bit of strategic advantage he could possibly confer in there to Giap, most in terms of information, because again, then Giap's going to know, okay, he risks M4C Shermans and other things. And of course, in this regard, IncaUna may of course be favouring that, Giap is kept in the dark for as long as possible. Oh, he does call it. Never mind then. Just really lots of words to say, why he may not be doing it. And of course, he just does it anyways, right as we've done. Great timing. Thanks, IncaUna. And units saying southwards there. Ooh, telemines. Thumbs up. Oh, S-mines actually. Telemines I think are often good, but S-mines don't hurt either. But he's going to good hits in the conscripts. In the north here, Pan Squad definitely needs to get in a bit of pressure. I think they'd actually try and flank behind the conscripts here. Backed up with the armored car. I think that could oh, never mind. No, there's not enough forces to actually pull that off, I think, successfully. In the south, and he's moving forwards. S-mines down there. A machine back in the center. We do finally get some upgrades to them. These and his fact G for the fees. Could it feel like those out sooner, to be honest, here for Giap, but better late than never. Better late than never. T-7 moving forwards here. Giap does have the Pack 40 there. The Panzer Abwehr 41. Just they're opening up the Grenadiers, so of course now, if Giap's paying attention, you should have a fairly good idea as to what doctrine IncaUna has gone for and what, countermeasure to take. That is what to expect. Of course, whether or not he does, that is another matter entirely. Pack finding the T-70 going one shot went through, but still quite a bit of damage for that one shot that did hit. Armored cast slicing off some health there from the T-70. Not too shabby there, not too shabby. Giap definitely getting a bit more control of the map now. The Panzer is definitely providing a bit of assistance, so I do feel like he's playing them perhaps a tad too passive. The opposite don't want to play them recklessly, but you know, you don't want to be playing them like they're Osttruppen out of cover. And it's ironically most players at the times play Osttruppen more aggressive than they'll play the Panzer Grenadiers. Another machine gun there for Giap to further constrain and contain IncaUna's infantry. Very good, thumbs up. Got another heavy machine team out for IncaUna and the Red Army. Swiftly and efficiently. This was the comes to the south, they could upgrade of course those with D43s as well. Panzer getting reinforced, healed. Well, mostly healed, they had a need for reinforcements. Big push in the south of IncaUna. He's constantly, like, you know, Chelsea gauging here Giap's front line, looking for weaknesses and openings, so we push through there, very good. Trying to keep Giap, you know, a bit off guard. So that's very good to see. That is excellent tactical play there by IncaUna, and Giap certainly, you can see there, it's struggling a bit at times here with the maneuvers from IncaUna. Second M42 should hopefully be used a bit more action than the first one. Ooh, suffered a wipe. That's a great kill here for IncaUna. Great pack 40 off on top. We got the gun into the Panzer with the M42 moving in at catching here IncaUna's forces. Of course, at this point, he now knows he's up against two MG42s, but the one in the center right by the Dishka, as the Dishka outperforms that one. Grenade off here, completely whiffed there for Giap. Teasing through the center here. Pack 40 is able to turn around to deal with the two armored car with the damaged engine. Panzer is pushing forward to the spot of the M42, tearing through IncaUna's conscript, showing no mercy. Gutting them. And there you go. Teasman push back. Got the heavy machine team up 2 men up here. Definitely a problem there for the armored car. Up here, troops reinforcing healing. Tech for Giap. Thumbs up to that. Some fast armor would be very good for him. And of course for IncaUna, if we could push for that as well, that'd be great. He does have a lot of munitions, and he does have the allied supply drop ability. So, you know, pushing for some more equipment would be a good idea. And certainly, in terms of history, the Surge were actually quite reliant on a lot of stuff from the Americans, in particular logistics, trains, railway supplies, and also just a lot of trucks actually received by the Serbs and the Americans, but also food and, well, tanks and other weapons. So they actually received a lot of tanks. They still received, I think, roughly 4,000. 2 of them were the 75 Shermans, and they of course had the 2,076 Shermans as well. So a little fun fact there. But the biggest deal was probably just logistics and aluminium for the T-34's engines, actually. That was also a really important part there for the Serbs, and they wouldn't be able to produce that many T-34s without that, most likely. Panzer coming from the south here. Machine gun holding up. And machine gun holding up there as well. Bit of a stand up here between Giap and IncaUna. And these moving forwards. Could do with some more upgrades there, I think. Big push in the south again. Giap may want to keep a machine gun down in the south. We could also just consider laying down some S-mines here. That would also slow down, I think, some of IncaUna's parade maneuvers. Panzer on the T's and the light tank, very good. Panzer being attacked by comes from Soul Sarge, quick retreat, the machine gun needs to precision. This armored colts moving to slightly slow them down. And in the center, their troops being suppressed. And in the north side, there's not a lot of action there. It looks like we got 2 machine guns effectively just locking off the no man's land between them. Constant pushing forward through the machine gun farm. We can see that bit of a precision from Giap. Probably get it behind heavy cover so they don't do more damage than necessary. Grenadiers also moving in there. Center remains a no man's land as well. Far up north, the Grenadiers got dispatched. We got another pack 40 from Giap. I feel like the timing he indicates he might be trying a Tiger Stall, which is definitely not something I'm a huge fan of, but I don't think that's a secret to the viewership at this point. You have to see, of course, the camp pull it off, and Money Coon's just setting on pressure, and of course, there's an opponent who actually has Lease, and thus can just churn out theoretically like a lot of infos. Sherman to Tiger, of course, may find itself significantly outgunned. Good hit from the pack 40, machine crew popping into the outpitch up there, got up maneuvered. Just using the head a bit of float to the shrubberies there. Up north, he can at least ground the point it is nearby, but can't spot far enough. There you go, second pack 40 there for Giap for Germany, Deutschland. Losing the southern fuel point here, the IncaUna needs to do something about that soon. And IncaUna probably should want to take up soon, maybe consider some fuel drops again to assist. Mine goes off here, wiping the conscript there. Thumbs up, S1 fuel paid off there very nicely. Certainly one of the hidden benefits of the S1 field is actually really good at dealing with retreating units the way it's set up, actually. So that can be a sneak way, like you sort of know when an opponent's going to retreat through, and you've got some units that can actually retreat through it. You can actually lay down some S-mines on the retreat point or retreat path, and you can actually have a good chance of getting some wipes there. So it's a little fun sneaky trick. Panzerschrecks on the Panzergrenadiers. I feel like alongside the double packs, there's definitely a Scream's Tiger tank, but also think Giap might be overdoing it and forgetting you also need to kill the infantry. So I'm not a fan of the Panzerschrecks. On top of that, definitely feels a bit overkill. Maybe some perhaps too exposed. Meanwhile, in IncaUna space, we got the mechanized armor company up. Again, could go for fuel drop here, and thus push for a fairly fast M4G Sherman. But we shall see, of course, what IncaUna does. Quick Molotov there. Oh, he does go for the bomb, of course. It's not just a Tiger Stall, which is good. At least it's going to be medium tank, but even then, the Panzerjägers then feel still fairly awkward. Like, I'm not entirely sure why he went for Panzerjägers. I mean, my best guess is it could also have been like a misclick, he just didn't realize it, but it is going to go for Panzer 4 on top of the double pack forwards. I think the Panzerjägers are a bit of a waste. Typically, I'd only use Panzerjägers if, like, the map is really forward, or like, you're desperate and need some extra firepower, but not in a situation like this. Definitely feels a bit off. IncaUna, they're going for the T-34 from 6. No MTF from him. No MTF. The South here concentrating, trying to pressure Giap's southern flank. Grenadiers machine in the centre, Panzerjägers moving up. Up north, the Pioneers caught laying down sandbags here by IncaUna's mighty T-zone light tank. And he's going for an Ostwind. Alright. Ostwind into a Tiger Stall? That's the first one. I mean, it's novel. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, I guess, but I'm certainly surprised. I'm certainly surprised. Might be a better way to start for the Tiger in some ways, perhaps even, I don't know, but it's definitely a surprise there, if that is what he's indeed planning. Otherwise, he may just plan to go for a lot of Ostwinds, but even then, I'd probably still recommend just giving the Panther out of upgrade and just go for some Stooks instead. Double Stoop, double Ostwinds, in fact, I think a fairly powerful formation, as you get a lot of firepower on some fairly mobile and cost-efficient platforms. Packs on taking up there, IncaUna's T-34 from Sigma does survive the encounter. Mostly unscathed. I think the radio operator might be a bit deaf now. Got the awesome moving forward here, the Flak Panzer Fear. One of 3 different Flak Panzers based off the Panzer IV chassis. There's first the Möbelwagen, then there's the Wirbelwind, and then we finally had the Ostwind. Most produced anti-aircraft tank was actually based off the Czechoslovakian Panzer 38T and was known as the Gepard and mounted a 2cm flat cannon. Little fun fact there. That said, overall anti-aircraft tanks were actually quite rare in the war and were rarely ever produced in large numbers. Even by the Americans, I think, made a few. They never made a large numbers. The vast majority of self-propelled anti-aircraft guns were just either based off half-tracks or trucks, occasionally even cars. So, little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. T-34 today, I think, IncaUna. Then he's holding up, bit of a standoff here. We got 180 centimeters to 450. Giap, if he's planning for the Tiger Stall, he is definitely going to find himself a bit challenged there. Again, was a bit of a weak early game here versus IncaUna. But there you go. Panzerjägers arriving here. Panzerjägers away. Double hit, they're close range, and there you go. Panther fast pack shot. They finish off the T-34 costing IncaUna's tank, but needs to get out of the building. Oh! Why did you get back in there, Giap? Why? The T-34 just crashed it as an last act of spite then. Giap apparently allowed it to happen. That felt like a very avoidable loss there for Giap. I do not know what happened. Maybe it was he panicked and misclicked, but whether it was that was definitely did not look good. I mean, he still has the Ostwind, but yeah. Ended up being a bit of a waste there. Looked impressive in a strange way to look. And this concept machine tank bunched up. The M4C Shunlo with IncaUna, very good. Giap could consider Morty actually. I think I'm Morty doing quite a bit of good. Considers the MD42 in semi-on pitch, and I think the great ability to pop there. I think Osprey there providing some light support, but nothing significant. I think we're moving in to try a bit of extra fire support, but too late now. Sherman there, halfway done for Giap. Not for Giap, for IncaUna. T-swing eastwards, then backwards. Sherman almost done there for Giap. Still no tech there for IncaUna. Damn it, why do I keep calling IncaUna Giap? That's just silly. and embarrassing. But yeah, if he's planning that Tiger, well, he probably should take up the options, you know, secure more fuel and keep up more pressure on IncaUna. He's definitely, I think, playing too passively. But again, that's also like a tricky balance if you're trying to stall the opposite, looking to play defensively. But it's just, as the Germans trying to play defensively, so the Wehrmacht at least, it's pretty risky due to having a lot of smaller teams, which aren't really great for defensive play, since they're much more vulnerable, like just being cleared up doing an attack. You want to typically, like, you know, use them more aggressively. So it's always a high risk thing to try and stall this, the Wehrmacht, in my opinion. Panzer squad almost done. They will have to equip those with Panzer Shakes as well. Oh, Griff comes to the shoots. Perhaps he's 90 strong for a Tiger tank. I mean, I'd definitely be a much bigger fan of that, though. That then begs the question, why Lightning Wall then? We shall see, of course, what Giap is planning. I think a Stug would have been a great choice. A Stug would have been an amazing choice, but there you go. Back to punching. Oh, make up your mind, Giap. Make up your damn mind. Are you going for Stug or not? Are you going for Stug or not? Questions, man. Questions. Think, Giap. Think. Stugs are much more cost efficient than the Tiger, alongside the Ostvins. Much more cost efficient. Comes the caught by the Ostwind. Fieldgun shoots whiffs on that shot. Bit of quality between IncaUna and Giap. I mean, IncaUna probably should just try and get more fuel for other fuel drops. Then, of course, up for this German. That's a second one. That said, the Ostwind makes it hard for him to actually go for that supply drop, since it can actually be shot down by the Ostwind. So, can't fault him for not trying that, though. I can't fault him, as a lot of times the Ostwind actually take it down. So having our cut on top of that increases the chances of any supply drop. Therefore, IncaUna just get plucked out of the skies. Going to use him towards the constituency in the centre, going for that victory point, but they're taking a hell of a beating as they're trying to do so. Now he is going for 2-4, so it may actually not be a stall for the Tiger tank here for Giap. I guess in the Stug indicated there was some hesitation there. A moment of doubt as, you know, the smarter angel on his shoulder went, you know, Giap, you'd benefit a lot more for your Stug than a Tiger tank. And then, you know, the other, you know, the devil on his shoulders looks awfully a lot like, you know, I don't know, Goering, you know, goes, that's a Tiger, it's big, yeah, and expensive, it must be good, mein Freund. And obviously that one won out here. I'm just constant press the MG42 up, she's not in MG42. Can't being handled by the grenades in the centre. Up north here, troops reinforcing healing. Armoured car joining for a bit of fun. In the centre there, nice rifle grenade from the grenadiers, almost taking out there IncaUna's conscript squad, fixing up the Sherman. You could consider fuel cache, to be honest. Yeah, versus Giap. So yeah, Giap is now Tiger bound. It would seem now the field there for IncaUna, as I think he's all starting to realise that his opponent is Tiger bound. He might have been slightly waiting here, hesitating if Giap was actually going to go for it. Like, you know, surely he could not decide to go for the Tiger like these comrades. You know, apparently he is. Anyways, three divisional field gun on the way there for IncaUna and the Red Army. In the south, they got the field gun contributing forces ground for the southern victory point here under Giap's nose once more. They got 187 to 374. Flak Panzer holding up here with 2 kills. Nice hit from the field gun on the 2-2. He could actually technically rush down. He was some infantry in the Ostwind. Clear out the field gun and the infantry nearby. I think that could be a fairly good idea here for Giap. Machine crew that exterminated here by the field gun. Really just highlighting how powerful its barrage can be. Flak Panzer moving in. Backing up the grenades. Panzer on the T-70. Few gun repositioning. North side is still not seeing a lot of action there, though. Got another machine in there for Giap. Thumbs up. Sherman on the move there with its 76mm gun. Packs opening up there, at least trying to open up, but sadly not quite positioned there to do it. Just moving forward. There you go. Flak Pan flying current fire alongside the grenadier squad here, making it harder for IncaUna to get a clean pursuit here of the Pack 40s. Toss in the MG42, and that pursuit is very much put to rest. IncaUna with the second M4C Sherman, another MCHA. Panzer now, armor cutting southward to the east level. A bit closer to that Tiger tank at the current of income. I would say roughly a bit over 2 minutes here for Giap calling the Tiger tank. Though he could risk in the same amount of time that IncaUna is going to call at least one more Sherman, at which point his Tiger tank will be up against 3 M4C Shermans, which will be quite a challenge for the Tiger tank, in particular since that those M4C Shermans also likely backed up by 2 field guns. Pushing him with the Panzerjägers here. Shed collapse under the weight of the Sherman. There you go, push back. Almost losing him the Panzerjägers again. They find themselves on the victory point there. Flak Panzer joining in. Pioneers in the move, constantly being hammered by the Flak Panzer. MG42 being provided by the field, but so far first shot completely whiffs, as apparently the gunner was a bit drunk. And the second shot hasn't shown much confidence in the gunner's sobriety. Third shot certainly isn't helping either. I swear, I'm sober, Mr. Commissars. There's only one. Oh, sick of boy. Up north, the machine was the Grenadiers. They have a northern victory point. The Grenadiers are halted efficiently at the machine, but so is the constable in the centre. And we do finally get some insane armor piercing rounds of Gap. Thumbs up. He is now roughly a minute away from the Tiger tank. 1 minute. IncaUna again with the field drop would also be roughly a minute away from a third Sherman. There you go. That is a bunch in there. Also getting 50 cal mounted on top. Thumbs up there to IncaUna. Very good. So the victory point secured once more. Black Panther nasty hit. They're pack fully trying to shoot through all of the hedges and whatnot, but sadly the shot can't pass there. Most of course are some very large rocks as well by the looks of it. Grenadiers there could do with some light healing, a bit of first aid. They could do a lot of good T-7 machine rushing southwards. In the centre we've got machines securing points, and we've got the Sherman about in the north here. Flak Panther there could definitely do some repairs here for Giap. And in the south here, armour coming against them with the Sherman and the T-7 and T-7 getting the ace loop, but the pack 40 here on his watch. Almost taking out the IncaUna's T-7 light tank, but once more it does escape. Giap though is mum's way now from the Tiger tank. Calling in support here from the 601st Schwere Panzer Abteilung. The support finally arrives here. Now the question of course is, will Giap then leverage it towards a victory? Machine gun down to fire from the field gun, currently jumping up so alongside the MG42. Tiger tank rolling ahead here. Should of course add the panel mounted machine gun on top, though of course at this stage I would not be surprised for setting up for this to a close air support here versus IncaUna to unleash that upon his tanks. Tiger tank looks like they're heading towards the centre. Company's getting ready to support there in the south. Stand-up continues. His IncaUna is steadily trying to push him forward, but hold it here by Giap. We got 160, there was 55 in fact. IncaUna's got all 3 victory points back under control now. Panzer will support the Titan in the north. Sherman taking a nasty hit there from the rockets. Down half health there. Machine being pushed back. Cookers losing the Sherman hit to the Tiger tank. No, he disengages, but still Panzer to finish off. He got smoke off there. Tiger tank that could still possibly finish off, but no, he pulled too far back, too fast there, and didn't go for like killing blow there. Trying to pop in some shots that didn't quite work out. So close call here for IncaUna's Sherman, but it does survive. It does escape the wrath of the German army, at least for now. Ground points, you need to grab the centre victory point. There we go, so good. Southern one being seized as well. If you grab the western one, be great. Though he's going to need support from the Tiger tank towards that purpose. IncaUna following up with the Katyusha rocket launcher, clearly showing he is not that concerned about the Tiger tank, and rather wishes to remove some of the supporting elements like the machine guns and the packs, which makes sense. Bit of awkward maneuvering there by the Tiger, not entirely sure what's going on. We've got the Sherman rushing forward backed up with the field guns. That's going to make things very awkward for the Tiger very fast. Good shot there from the Tiger, punching straight through the Sherman's armour with ease. Field just loading up here though, punching through the Tiger's armour. Though, fun fact, the actual 5th Division field gun couldn't really penetrate the Tiger tank's frontal armour. Like close ranges, it struggled significantly with the Tiger tank's armour. Fun fact. Good shooter rocket launch almost done there for IncaUna. Though he's hit. Oh, there we go. Finally arrived there. Sorry, comrades. Speed problematic when every road is called Joseph Stalin Road, or some version thereof. Disco firing away there. 3 kills, virtually 2. Titan moving forward. Still benefit from mortar there. Shot fire at the machine crew, but completely goes over their heads and lose little impact. Second shot also kind of whiffs there. Bad luck for Giap, great luck for IncaUna. We got 135 to 339. Panzerjägers firing at the infantry, not doing much there. We got the Ostman holding back here. 6 kills, half 8 to 2. And there you go, Katyusha barrage off, roughly around the center. There you go, machine crew and the pack getting hammered here by Soviet rocket artillery. And with that underway, IncaUna orders the men forwards. A great hoorah under supervision of the T-70 and the field guns. Thumbs up there to IncaUna. Very nicely executed push there. Machine crew wiped out as well. Excellent use of the T-70 spotting ability, by the way. Excellent. Target tank being fixed up. Giap really needs more armor. At this point, I think the only got room for is a Stug. Still close air support. If you time correctly, could perhaps give enough room here versus IncaUna to push him back, but he needs to be fast about this at the same time. I would probably though recommend a deep flank here, trying to catch IncaUna from an angle he's not expecting, then call it in, and that way deal damage to him. Possibly the south part of actually the better because the field is obviously a bit more focused here. Machine gun though crewed up and set up in the center, right in front of a Soviet gun. It's definitely, I think, ill-advised here by Giap. Ill-advised. Flak Panther moving forwards. Great hit from the shell on the Flak Panther, punching straight through the side armor with ease. Going for the victory point. We got the machine to get the armored car there. Shell shoots right through this wrecked house there, landing a nice hit on the armored car. Almost ace level on it. Pack 4 is arriving. Target on the move, engaging counter up north here. Up ahead they cover. They're going to be difficult to dig up. The target tank east, and there you go. Field guns flying well there. T-70 spotting for them. Thumbs up there to IncaUna again. Target tank being pushed back, and Giap seems fairly apprehensive as IncaUna, not making any sort of like aggressive pushes when he really needs to like do so. And again, highlights the issue with these kind of stall strategies. They also just force you into the defense, meaning like once you really need to go on the offense, it can actually be much tougher to do so when you want to renege or find some air support called in. That said, it's going to be fairly easy for IncaUna to get out of this. So I'm not so sure how much worth it this time around it was. There we go. He is now more or less out of the arc of fire. So, well, it's certainly pushed back. The Shem's supposed to finish it off, and it's not like blocking like more of the map. So that one feels a bit of a waste there. We got 97 versus 332. IncaUna remains in a strong position. Good amount of resources here versus opponent as well. Which is bad. Double packed and infinitely by. Oh dear, Grenadiers being hammered into a pulp. Pack 40 crew cleared out as well. Heavy losses there for Giap. Heavy losses. Absolutely brutal damage there being delivered by IncaUna against Giap. North comes to the Grenadiers, the Panzerjägers in for true, and there you go. Giap just pops out there. Pound deciding he's had enough and realised his strategy has kind of hit a bit of a brick wall here versus IncaUna, which, you know, you can't fault him for. Like, again, the Tiger tank, while nice, just really doesn't deliver what it costs. I mean, it just doesn't have enough DPS, which remains the main issue there with most of the German, you know, tier 4 stuff. Like, you know, for the amount of time and resources and how much you have to, like, put aside to, like, get to it, they just don't deliver enough to most of the time be worth it. It's more like, you know, if you're ahead and you all got like a sizable force, you can save up for them that way and then follow up. They like you start to lose ground, but the way sort of Giap does and so many others, I find typically just tends to be less efficient and relieves them much more than just getting crushed by their opponent. So good play by IncaUna, definitely exploited a lot of mistakes by Giap. Giap definitely had some moments, but yeah, no, really shouldn't have bothered with the Tigers. Just gone from Stugs and more Ostmans and some unupgraded Panzer Grenadiers, and I think Giap would be able to win this. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell the family. Don't tell me. This is Imperial Links in Cheers. Thank you for watching. Episode tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.